We're less than 24 hours away from Election Day, and we've got local, state, and national races on the ballot. We've already seen record numbers of early voters, and now election officials are gearing up for tomorrow. Here are a couple things to know about the polls on Election Day. Voting is from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you're scheduled to work but still need to vote, Georgia law requires your employer to give you up to 2 hours to vote tomorrow. These are the rules and the parameters of that law. Your employer will be able to be the one to set aside that time for you. There's no obligation to pay you during that time, and this law does not apply to people who could make it to the polls before or after work. The law says this law does not apply to those who clock in at least 2 hours after the polls open or clock out at least 2 hours before the polls close. There are also cases when you may need to fill out a provisional ballot. You may not have an ID, there's a problem with your application, or you accidentally go to the wrong precinct. After you vote on the provisional ballot, it goes into a sealed bag. A poll worker will give you a notice that explains how to make sure your ballot is counted. In some cases, the board has 3 days to confirm you met the deadline to register to vote. You have 3 days to provide an ID to your local registrar's office if you didn't have that. And if you went to a wrong precinct after 5 o'clock in Richmond County, you'll get that provisional ballot. Besides the president's race, here is what's on the ballot for some of our local counties. There are several candidates running for sheriff this year. In Burke County, you've got Sheriff Alfonso Williams and write-in candidate Brad Capitosti. In Wilkes County, you've got Darrell Powers and Dietrich Jones. Aiken County, Lucas Grant and Marty Sawyer. McCormick County, Chad Cox and Tim Kelly. Several seats are up for grabs in the Richmond County School Board. Shantae Boyd and Reginald Forrest are running for District 4. Monique Braswell, A.K. Hassan, and Christopher Mullins are candidates in District 5. Mary Jane Abbott and Ani Poe are listed for District 8, and Lee Blitch and Samantha Valentine are there for District 10. Aiken County has 2 sales taxes that are up for renewal this year. The first one is for school projects. Campuses like Silver Bluff, North Augusta Middle, and South Aiken are being considered for funding if voters say yes. If it doesn't pass this time around, it won't be up for consideration until the next general election. The other one up for renewal is the capital project sales tax. That mainly helps fund infrastructure and other quality of life projects in the county. Leaders say it keeps paying for the county's needs while also keeping property taxes low. If this gets passed, it would go into effect for 7 years and will start after the previous one expires in 2026. Now, these are just a couple other races that we're tracking. Both Richmond County and Columbia County have East Blost on the ballot. Congressman Rick Allen and Liz Johnson are candidates for District 12 in Georgia. And in South Carolina, Representative Joe Wilson is running up against David Robinson II for the District 2 race. Now, how do you know where to go to vote tomorrow? Well, several election leaders are pointing us in the direction of state election pages. My Voter page for Georgia and scvotes.gov for South Carolina. By putting your name, county, and date of birth, you'll be able to access your precinct information, and you may also get a chance to check a sample ballot. Also, if you fill out a provisional ballot, you'll be able to check the status of that. If you need a ride to the polls, Augusta Transit is providing free rides on Election Day. You can also get a free ride that day to the doctor's office or the grocery store. To do this, you must reserve a ride no later than 5 o'clock today. All you have to do is call the number right there on your screen.